so many American Jews come from families that were involved in some way or another in the socialist or labor movement in some way or another, meaning that they weren't necessarily hardcore activists, but were involved in one or more of the institutions associated with the Jewish labor movement. It has left certain legacies, and one has been over the years an orientation towards liberal, progressive, left-wing causes. That's weakened over the decades, but it's still there. It still has some presence in the lives of, I think, a significant number of Jews. I see it in my courses. Actually, I have students who come in and they don't think of themselves as socialists. They might not even think of themselves as liberals. I don't know, but they know where their parents and grandparents came from, and that has some meaning for them. So I think it's there. I think it informs to some degree. It's there in the background, and I think it informs to some degree how Jews view themselves politically. To some degree, view themselves as Jews, which is to say, this is their Jewish identity is some weakened version of that older Jewish identity, which is meaning that they have some kind of secular or cultural identification with Jews, maybe an ethnic sense of being Jewish. Religion's not that important to them. Critics say this isn't sustainable, it's weak, it's inauthentic. I'm not judgmental about it. I think there's actually lots positive in that world, that legacy, and in fact, I'd like to see the legacy strengthened. The unfortunate thing about it is that the kind of Yiddish secular left-wing identity I write about in my book was difficult to sustain because there were built-in tensions within it from the start. There was a tension between the universalism of socialism. It's not an ethnically particular ideology. At the same time, this Jewish culture was difficult to pass on because it lacked a religious dimension. It was built so much on a foreign language, Yiddish, but foreign languages don't fare well generally in the United States. They tend to wither away with successive generations. Much of American Jewish life contains that instability, the dynamism that comes from the dynamism that comes from living in a culture and a society that has a lot going on, and in which traditions are always being undermined and recreated and reinvented, and new forms of culture created that might not last but are vibrant in their own moment. Traditionalists don't like this. I mean, they look for stability and continuity. There's a cost to pursuing continuity above all else. There's just as much a cost in doing that as embracing innovation and change and so forth. The cost is conformity. The cost can be something that's creating something that's actually completely uninteresting and boring. There are advantages as well, and tradition has its own advantages. I'm saying that what I'm trying to say is that different paths and choices Jews have made come with costs and benefits. Yiddish culture came out of a tremendous secular Yiddish culture of the immigrant period, was a product of tremendous ferment and rebellion and an embrace of modernity. And at the same time, those very elements of modernity undermined it. Even though it's unfortunate in certain regards, because I wish Yiddish culture was more stable in this country than it is, that it's also, I believe, the condition of modernity. And I don't know how we escape that. Orthodox Jews try to escape that. Many Orthodox Jews do, but they can't even. No one can.